Welcome to my channel, Love This Fit Life, your daily path to stronger living. Top 3 spices that instantly relieve joint pain and inflammation naturally. Top 3 kitchen spices that quickly ease joint pain and calm inflammation naturally. Do stiff, aching joints refuse to settle down? Maybe you're done leaning on painkillers and want a gentler option. Something you can weave into your day without side effects. You're in the right place. Today's video breaks down potent spices you can sprinkle over everyday meals to help fight joint pain and inflammation the natural way. They're not rare or exotic. Chances are they're already in your pantry. So, grab a warm drink, get comfortable, and let's see how a few simple seasonings can make a real difference for your joints. We'll begin with one that might surprise you. Number 1, cloves. Let's spotlight one of the most underrated spices hiding in plain sight. Cloves. These small, dark buds don't look impressive, but don't let appearances fool you. For easing joint discomfort and dialing down inflammation, cloves deliver outsized benefits. You might associate them with holiday baking or spiced teas. And yes, they add that warm, cozy note to desserts and drinks. But beyond the aroma, cloves are packed with bioactive compounds that can soothe sore joints and help shield them from further wear. So what gives cloves their edge? The headline molecule is eugenol. It's the source of the signature scent and much of cloves' therapeutic power. Eugenol has been investigated for anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and analgesic pain-relieving actions. In plain terms, it helps quiet inflammatory pathways, neutralize damaging free radicals, and take the sting out of pain. Picture joints that are puffy, stiff, or tender. Inflammation is the body's protective response, but when it turns chronic, as in many forms of arthritis, it starts to harm rather than help. Eugenol can inhibit COX-2 activity, the same target many over-the-counter pain relievers aim at, offering a gentler food-based way to calm the fire without relying solely on pills. Cloves also rank among the most antioxidant-dense spices. That matters because oxidative stress from aging, poor diet pollution, or chronic stress accelerates cartilage breakdown and joint degeneration. By supplying a rich pool of antioxidants, cloves help slow that process and protect joint tissues at the cellular level. On the ORAC scale, a measure of antioxidant capacity, cloves outscore many celebrated superfoods, even edging out blueberries. Here's another compelling angle. Emerging research suggests clove constituents may limit cartilage damage in arthritic conditions. Translation: cloves may do more than soothe symptoms. They may help preserve joint structure, supporting better flexibility, less stiffness, and fewer flare-ups over time. How do you use them day to day without flavor fatigue? Easy, whole clove tea. Drop a few whole cloves in a gently boiling water. Simmer 10-15 minutes. Strain and sip. A bit of honey and lemon is optional. Enjoy after meals or in the evening if nighttime aches are your trouble spot. Ground cloves go light. The flavor is potent, so a pinch is plenty. Stir into oatmeal, blend into a banana, cinnamon smoothie, or fold into curries and stews. You'll get depth of flavor and joint-friendly compounds in one move. Golden milk upgraded. Warm your preferred milk with turmeric, ginger, black pepper, and a pinch of ground clove. It's a soothing anti-inflammatory pre-bed ritual your joints will appreciate. Infused oil. Gently warm olive oil with a few whole cloves and other joint-supportive spices. Drizzle over roasted vegetables or use as a salad finish for a subtle functional lift. A quick caution: cloves are highly concentrated in eugenol. Large doses, especially in supplement or essential oil form, can be too much for the body and may trigger side effects. Keep intake to normal culinary amounts to capture benefits without risk. If you enjoy aromatherapy, the scent of clove oil can be comforting, and a properly diluted topical application may provide localized warmth and mild numbing on sore areas. Always mix with a carrier oil like coconut or almond and patch test first. Why recommend cloves for joint care? Because they're simple, accessible, and effective. No complicated recipes or radical lifestyle shifts, just small additions that stack up over time. Real recovery isn't only about subtraction. What you avoid, it's also about smart additions that support healing. Cloves are exactly that kind of everyday upgrade. So, the next time you plan meals or your joints start feeling tight, consider where a little clove magic can slip in. Your body, and especially your joints, will feel the difference. Number 2, cinnamon. Let's chat about a spice you probably associate with this comfort food, cinnamon, and why it deserves a place in your joint care toolkit. Most of us think cinnamon belongs on cinnamon rolls, apple pie, or swirled into a cozy cup of chai. Yet, that same warm, familiar seasoning can play a meaningful role in easing joint aches and dialing down inflammation. The stick or powder tucked in your pantry might be one of the simplest natural supports for sore knees, stiff fingers, or an achy back. Cinnamon has a long history in traditional healing systems from ancient Egypt to Ayurveda to Chinese medicine, where it was valued for its restorative properties. Modern research has begun to validate what those traditions observed: the key bioactive compound called cinnamaldehyde. It's responsible for cinnamon's signature aroma and flavor, but it also carries potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. Since long-standing joint pain is driven by persistent low-grade inflammation, anything that safely nudges those inflammatory pathways down can make a real difference in day-to-day comfort. When chronic inflammation is simmering, the immune system can mistakenly target the body's own tissues, which shows up as stiffness, swelling, and pain. Cinnamaldehyde and related compounds help calm that response. Several studies have linked cinnamon intake with reductions in inflammatory markers such as C-reactive protein and TNF-alpha, both associated with painful, inflamed joints. In one clinical trial, people with rheumatoid arthritis who consumed cinnamon daily reported less pain and swelling compared to a control group. For something as simple as a spice that is a notable result, there's another angle that matters just as much: circulation. Healthy blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients to cartilage, ligaments, and connective tissue, while removing metabolic waste that can aggravate soreness. Cinnamon supports better circulation, which in turn can help tissues repair, stay supple, and function more smoothly. Improved blood flow plus a quieter inflammatory environment is a combination your joints can feel. Cinnamon may also assist with blood sugar balance. That might sound unrelated to joint comfort, but stable glucose levels play a major role in whole body inflammation. Elevated blood sugar can amplify inflammatory processes and worsen joint symptoms over time by helping steady glucose. Cinnamon tackles a hidden driver of inflammatory discomfort from another direction. That kind of whole system benefit is exactly what makes food as medicine approaches so compelling. Now, for the practical part: how to use cinnamon so it actually becomes a daily habit. You don't need to force down spoonfuls or choke back harsh concoctions. Start with foods you already enjoy and layer cinnamon in. Try a warm bowl of oatmeal scattered with cinnamon and berries. The pairing tastes great, and the berries add additional antioxidants to complement cinnamon's anti-inflammatory punch. Prefer smoothies? Blend a pinch into a morning shake. Banana, almond milk, and even a bit of turmeric play. Well, with it, adding an earthy sweetness and more joint-friendly compounds. If tea is your ritual, make a simple cinnamon infusion. Simmer a cinnamon stick in water for 10 to 15 minutes, then sip it warm. A touch of honey or a slice of ginger brings extra soothing support. It's a calming way to begin the day or to settle in at night. Cinnamon also shines in savory dishes. Toss roasted sweet potatoes or carrots with a light sprinkle before they go in the oven. The natural sweetness of the vegetables and the spice's warmth complement each other beautifully, yielding a side dish that's both nourishing and joint-friendly. You'll get consistent low-dose exposure to the helpful compounds without feeling like you're taking medicine. One detail you should pay attention to is the type of cinnamon you buy. There are two main kinds on store shelves: cassia and Ceylon. Most mainstream brands are cassia. While cassia is fine in small culinary amounts, it contains higher levels of coumarin, a compound that may stress the liver when large quantities are consumed regularly. If you plan to use cinnamon daily for its health benefits, choose Ceylon cinnamon, often labeled true cinnamon. It has a gentler flavor and much lower coumarin content, making it the better choice for long-term use. You can find it online in health food stores and sometimes in the organic aisle of larger groceries. How much is enough? You don't need a lot. For general anti-inflammatory support, about 1 part 2 to 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon per day is a reasonable target. With spices like this, consistency beats mega doses. A modest amount used day after day tends to work better and is easier on the body than sporadic large servings. Think of it as a steady nudge toward balance rather than a quick fix. If you're dealing with ongoing joint issues, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer volume of pills, treatments, and conflicting advice out there. Cinnamon is refreshing precisely because it's simple. You can fold it into meals you already love and stick with it without stress. No elaborate recipes, no strict protocols, just gentle, steady support, and there's an emotional component too. Cinnamon is comforting. It warms you from the inside, softens the edges of a tough day, and reminds you that care can be both effective and enjoyable. Healing doesn't have to be harsh. It can be as accessible as a fragrant mug or a well-seasoned side dish. Of course, a quick note on safety. More isn't better. Stick with culinary amounts, especially if you're using cassia to keep cumin exposure low. If you take medications or manage chronic conditions, let your healthcare provider know you're using cinnamon regularly so they can make sure it fits your overall plan. Choosing Ceylon cinnamon and keeping to everyday kitchen doses makes regular use a smart, low-risk strategy. If stiff joints, achy knees, or puffy fingers have been wearing you down, give cinnamon a fair trial. Start sprinkling it into your breakfasts, whirl it into a smoothie, brew a simple tea, or season roasted vegetables. Small, delicious changes add up. Sometimes relief doesn't come in a bottle. It comes from a spice jar you already own, applied thoughtfully, one sprinkle at a time. Number 3, black pepper. Let's give some overdue credit to one of the most ordinary spices on the table. Black pepper. You might be thinking, really? That everyday sprinkle you twist over everything without a second thought? Yes, that one. Do not let its familiarity fool you. Black pepper is far more than a flavor finisher. Used wisely, it becomes a steady ally for easing joint soreness and dialing down inflammation. Often the most effective tools for healing are the ones hiding in plain sight. For centuries, peppercorns have served double duty elevating meals and supporting wellness in Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine. Modern research is catching up, explaining why this pantry staple can be such a difference maker for achy knees, stiff fingers, or a back that protests after long days. The secret sits inside a single naturally occurring compound called piperine. Piperine gives pepper its sharp bite, yet it also delivers notable anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. Those two qualities matter enormously when joints are cranky. Joint discomfort from arthritis or years of wear tends to be fueled by chronic low-grade inflammation. That process leaves tissues swollen, tender, and less mobile, and over time it can nibble away at cartilage. Piperine helps by turning down key biochemical signals that drive the fire. It can inhibit enzymes such as TOX2 and dampen pro-inflammatory cytokines, addressing root causes instead of simply muffling symptoms. In other words, black pepper helps your system stop yelling in the first place. There is another layer to this story. Life throws oxidative stress at us through pollutants, ultra-processed foods, and even emotional strain. These pressures generate free radicals that damage cells, including those that protect and cushion your joints. Antioxidants from black pepper help neutralize those unstable molecules, protecting tissue and supporting recovery, so your joints can move with less friction. Now comes one of the most compelling reasons to partner black pepper with other joint-friendly foods. Piperine dramatically enhances the bioavailability of certain nutrients, especially curcumin, the active component in turmeric. Curcumin has a strong reputation for soothing inflammation, but by itself, it is absorbed poorly. Beech can increase curcumin uptake by as much as 20-fold. That is why golden milk, turmeric teas, and anti-inflammatory smoothies often include a pinch of black pepper. The combination is not just tasty, it is smart nutrition that unlocks more of turmeric's potential. Bringing black pepper into your routine for joint support could not be easier. Start by choosing freshly ground pepper rather than pre-grown shakers. Grinding right before eating preserves more piperine, which means more impact for the same sprinkle. Keep a small meal where you eat and add it at the table to lock in potency with zero extra effort. Use it across your day. Twist fresh pepper over eggs at breakfast. Whisk it into vinaigrettes for salads. Stir it into soups and stews. Combine it with turmeric on roasted vegetables or in lentil dishes for a simple warming and highly functional pairing. Even a modest pinch used consistently adds up over time. When you include healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, or coconut milk, absorption of fat, soluble activives improves further. Do not skip your warm drinks. If herbal teas, turmeric lattes, or evening tonics are part of your rhythm, include a small crack of pepper. The flavor becomes rounder and you activate anti-inflammatory constituents that are ready to go to work. This is one of the easiest ways to weave joint care into gentle daily rituals you may already enjoy. A quick mindset reset helps too. Chronic joint pain can be discouraging, especially when you feel you have tried everything. Remember that you are not powerless. You do not need to overhaul your life to make progress. Small, sustainable habits move the needle. Black pepper is one of those tiny, repeatable choices that quietly accumulate into less stiffness, less swelling, and more comfortable movement. No hunt for rare superfoods, no pricey supplements required. Sometimes the most helpful shift is already sitting next to the salt. A brief word on safety. Pepper is well tolerated for most people in culinary amounts, but if you have a very sensitive stomach or you take certain long-term medications, check with your clinician. Piperine can influence how the body metabolizes some drugs. That interaction is uncommon at typical food levels, yet it is still wise to be aware. For the majority of people, fresh pepper used in everyday cooking is both safe and beneficial. So, the next time you reach for your spice rack, see black pepper with fresh eyes. It is more than a finishing touch. It is a supportive touch, a simple way to help your body feel better from the inside out. Relief does not always begin in a pharmacy. Sometimes it begins with a few turns of a grinder and the quiet knowledge that each sprinkle is nudging you toward less pain and more possibility. Summary. There you have it, a few everyday spices with remarkable therapeutic potential. From cinnamon's cozy sweetness to cloves' antioxidant punch and black pepper's inflammation-calming kick, these simple staples do more than flavor your meals. Used regularly, they can support joint healthies, swelling, reduce stiffness, and help you move with greater comfort and freedom. The best part is you don't need sweeping changes. Start small. A sprinkle here, a pinch there, and keep it consistent. Those tiny, repeatable habits compound into real results. Remember, relief doesn't always come from a bottle or a clinic. Often it begins in your kitchen with the choices you make every day. So, give your body steady support, one tasty plate at a time. If this video helped, tap the thumbs up and subscribe for more practical natural health tips and simple remedies that work. And if you've already used any of these spices for joint pain, share your experience in the comments. Until next time, take good care of yourself. You're worth it. Thank you for watching Love This Fit Life. Subscribe to stay healthy every